Namaste friends, welcome back to our 30-day challenge. Today is day 29. Can you believe you've managed to do a full 28 days of yoga? Fantastic. Today we're going to focus on reflection. So we're going to reflect a little over everything that we've already done and maybe even step it up a notch. We're also going to change it about a little bit, but there'll be a bit of balance, there'll be a bit of core, there'll be a bit of everything. So just do your best and remember to accept where your body is today. Start off in a nice comfortable seat. It can be any seat of your choice, even with one leg bent like this, holding onto the knee, maybe even with both legs out in front of you, no worries at all, whatever feels best for your body. And I'm going to teach you a new pranayama technique, a new breath technique today. This breath technique is called humming bee breath, and then the Sanskrit name is Bhramari Pranayama. Now this breath may seem a little silly to you to start with. Perhaps this is completely new and you think, I feel a little like a fool, but just give it a go. And at the end of the class, let me know how it made you feel. Just let me know in the comments, how did this breath make you feel? Perhaps you actually quite enjoyed it. So just have a little trust, be a little playful, and let's give it a go, shall we? We're only going to repeat it 9 times, and I thought this is the perfect breath for today, considering that we're going to reflect over everything that we've done, because it's perfect for concentration, because the humming sound that we're going to create is really good for concentrating the mind on the sound, on the breath, and then the vibration is really calming for the mind, really calming for all of our nerve endings and for the body. So let's give it a go. So come into a comfortable seat. What you want to do, I'm going to show you with one hand, and this is going to happen on both hands. We want to take our index finger and our middle finger together. Then we want to keep those over the eyes. Then we're going to take our thumb and either close off the ear, or you can put it into the ear. So this is a little strange. You may think, what is going on here? Don't worry, stick with me. And then this ring finger is going to go to the corner of the nose, and the baby finger to the corner of the mouth. So we're going to do this with both hands. So I'm not going to be able to, not that I can actually see you, but we're all going to have our eyes closed with our index finger, middle finger over the eyes. Thumbs covering the ears or into the ears. Your ring finger by the nose and your baby finger at the side of the mouth. Now as you inhale, you're going to take a nice deep inhale, but then on every exhale you're going to make the sound of a bee, so a vibration in your throat. So as you exhale, it's releasing all of the air. Let's begin. Okay, fingers over the eyes, hands over the ears, thumbs in the ears, all covering them. Ring finger by the side of the nose and baby finger by the side of the mouth. We're going to do this 9 times, so sit up nice and tall. Let's take a deep inhale through the nostrils. Everything is in and out of the nostrils here. On an exhale, make your humming bee sound. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Keeping the eyes closed, release the hands. Now inhale and exhale nice and deeply through the nose with the eyes closed. See if you can engage your Ujjayi breath here. That soft sea breeze sound at the back of the throat. Take 2 more deep breaths. Inhale, raise the hands above the head, touching the palms. Allow the eyes to follow up with them closed. Exhale to your heart center. Bow your head. Thank yourself for showing up on the mat today. Now slowly lift the head and you can open your eyes. Namaste. I hope that made you guys feel nice and relaxed. I know it did me. I'm going to struggle to get straight into this now. But I hope that made you feel good. It really is a lovely vibration. I'm sure you could feel that. So do let me know at the end how this made you feel. Let's come straight into it today, guys. Let's come onto our hands and our knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Now as you inhale, look up and drop the belly. Exhale, arch the spine, push the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, arch. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, arch. Take 1 more at your own pace. Now roll forward and let's take a few hip rolls. Just feel whatever feels good for your body today. So take a few circles if that feels right in one direction, and then let's send it in the opposite direction whenever you're ready. Just rolling it all out, feeling through the body. How is it feeling today? Tuck the toes, spread the fingers, and let's come up for our first downward facing dog. Now remember what we said before, just accept if your heels are still not touching the ground. There's absolutely no shame in that. But just make sure that you keep everything nice and engaged, sending the tailbone up towards the sky, sucking in that lower abdomen. See if you can engage that root lock, your Mula Bandha. And then take your gaze either between the legs or towards the navel, wherever feels more comfortable for you. Now we're going to take a couple of rolls to our plank. So inhale, lift up onto the feet. Exhale, roll forward. Hold your plank, take a deep inhale. Exhale, send your hips up to downward facing dog. Let's do this 3 times. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, roll forward. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. And again, inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, roll forward. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, send the hips back to downward facing dog. Walk out the legs. And now let's take a really slow walk to the front of the mat. You're more than welcome to step or to jump. And when we get there, let's take a nice forward fold here. Remember, you're more than welcome to bend the knees as much as you like. You can even rest the rib cage slightly on the tops of the thighs and just allow everything to hang really heavy. Maybe you want to rock from side to side, yes and no. Whatever's feeling good for the body today. Hold on to the elbows or just allow the hands to drop down to the ground. Feeling through the body, doing whatever you feel feels right for you today. And when you're ready, let's become still and just take 3 deep inhales and exhales right here. On your next inhale, let's halfway lift and look up. Exhale, fold forward. See if you can pull yourself a little closer towards the legs. Now scrape the fingertips along the ground and we're going to come up for our chair pose. So send the hips down. Either take the hands to your heart center or up to the sky. Stay nice and low, lift the toes off the ground. And inhale to standing Samastitihi. Hands by the side for a nice strong mountain here. Look straight ahead or close the eyes and let's take 3 deep breaths. Now inhale the hands to the sky, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center and start to lean forward. We're coming in for our first balancing pose. You're welcome to take your fingertips to the standing thigh and look straight ahead. As you come lower, start to take your gaze down towards the ground. Keep that leg lifted, really engage that glute. See if you can keep the standing leg straight, if not, bend it a little. Now you're welcome to have your hands here as a support or take them to your heart center whenever you're ready. If this is enough, stay here, and if you want to take it a step further, see if you can reach the arms slowly in front of you and look directly ahead. Hold this for 2 breaths. And hands to the heart center if you had them out in front of you. Start to come on back down nice and slowly as you can. Bring that foot to meet the right and let's shake everything out. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. On your inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Start to lean forward and lift the other leg off the ground. Take the gaze directly down as you come to your 90-degree angle. Engage the glute here on the standing leg and on the lifted leg. You can keep your hands onto the standing thigh. Bring them to your heart center if you want to, and don't worry if you fall out. I feel like I might at any point. Or inhale, slowly, slowly bring the arms forward and look straight ahead. Take 2 deep breaths. Exhale, oops, there we go. Exhale as slowly as you can, bring that foot to meet the standing leg and let's shake it out. Great job, and don't worry if you didn't manage. Now inhale, hands to the sky, look up, exhale, come on down for your chair pose, bending the legs, sitting back as if you're going on a chair, lift the toes up off the ground and look straight ahead. You can take the hands to the heart center or you can send them up and over. Wherever's more comfortable for your neck and for your shoulders. Now exhale, fold forward, straighten the knees. Take your forward fold. Let's just move through the hips here in our forward fold. Bending one leg, seeing if you can straighten the other. No worries if that's not possible today. And allow everything to become heavy. Hold on to the elbows. Let everything just drop here. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. On your next inhale, halfway lift. Look up. Now plant the palms. We're going to step back to plank. And remember, as I always say, yogi's choice, take a nice easy plank whenever you need to. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, let's send it all the way down to the belly, as slowly as you can. Inhale to your baby cobra, hands off the ground. Exhale down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. We're going to do that one more time. Now keep the feet really flat against the ground and engage your glutes as you lift, as well as the spine. So inhale up. Exhale, come on down. Place the palms underneath the shoulders and send your hips up into your plank. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk it out if that feels good. And at any point, if you need to, feel free to take a child's pose. Send the tailbone up towards the sky, straightening through the arms, sending your gaze between the legs or towards the navel. Suck in the lower abdomen and try to engage that mula bandha. Take 3 deep breaths here. Inhale the right leg to the sky, only as high as you can lift it. Exhale towards the chest, as far as you can, and step it forward. Let's inhale our hands up into our high lunge. So keep that back heel off of the ground. Now inhale, strengthen the legs and lift the hands up towards the sky. Keep a 90-degree angle with the front leg and try to square off the hips with the front of the mat. You're welcome to look straight ahead or look up at the palms, whatever's more comfortable. Take a deep inhale and exhale, rotate the back foot, bring the heel down to the ground. So the back leg, the back foot is at a 45-degree angle to the back of the mat. Lean forward, take your warrior 2. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, let's rotate the arm up, look up, and then straighten the front leg. Exhale, come on down for our triangle pose. Keep both legs really engaged, lift up through the kneecaps. Take the outside of this hand, either to the calf, even to the thigh, if this is enough for your flexibility, or all the way down to the ground. Open up through the hips, keep the hips open towards the front of the side of the mat. Look up towards the top arm. Take a nice deep inhale. Just keep breathing. On your next exhale, bend through the front leg back to warrior two. Now let's rotate that front foot so that that's at about a 45-degree angle to the front of the mat. So turning the toes ever so slightly inwards, heels a little bit out. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Let's open up our shoulders. Start to lean forward. If you get to a point where it's too much for the flexibility that you're at now, then start to bend the knees. Dropping the head forward and allowing the arms to fall up and over the head. If you can straighten through the legs, then keep them straight. If not, keep them bent. Let's take 3 deep inhales and exhales right here. The closer you have your palms together, the harder and the deeper the stretch is going to be here on the front of the shoulders here. So if you want to open the palms out, then that's quite all right. Keep them open. Just keep the interlace of the fingers. One more deep inhale. And exhale. Release the fingertips. We're going to take a spinal twist. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to the center of the mat. Now take the right hand right into the center and inhale the left up into the sky. Look up at the left palm. Rotating nice and gently through the spine here. Take one more deep breath. Exhale that hand down. Place it where the right hand was. And then send the right hand up to the sky. Twisting and looking up at the hand. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, release back down. Allow everything to hang heavy just for a moment. Remember, you're welcome to bend the knees whenever you need. Inhale, halfway lift. Let's take our hands to the thighs, to the hips. And come on up using the strength of the legs. Lift yourself up. Now rotate this left leg outwards, facing the left side. Bend through the knee, and we're going to come down for our warrior two here on the left side. Look over at the fingertips. Keep that back leg nice and engaged, lifting up through the heel, through the knee, not through the heel. Sorry, guys. Look straight ahead, bend through the front knee. Now straighten that front leg. Let's come down for our triangle. Don't forget, you can take that hand to the inner thigh, to the calf, or all the way to the ground. Open up through the side body. Look up towards the right fingertips. And let's take 3 deep breaths here. On an exhale, bend through the front leg, come back to warrior two. Look over towards the fingertips. Here on the left side. Inhale, reach forward and lift the arm up to the sky. Exhale, back to warrior two. Rotate the feet back to the center. Rotate that right foot to reach the front of the mat, and let's step forward. Give the legs a little shake out. And release. Come back to standing. Stand up nice and tall and close the eyes. Roll the shoulders back and down. Now inhale the hands to the sky. Look at the palms, take a mini back bend if you can. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Plant the hands and let's step back to our plank. Now take an easy plank or keep your knees lifted, whichever you prefer. Whichever one you take, make sure you're pushing strong up and out of the shoulder blades. You're tucking the tailbone ever so slightly to engage that core. Zipping everything to the midline. On an exhale, take a back bend of your choice, baby cobra, full cobra, or upward facing dog. If you're taking upward facing dog, exhale chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, drop the knees, send the hips back for a child's pose. We're going to widen through the knees, take them as wide as the mat, walk the hands forward, and allow everything to sink down. Either take your chest and your chin down to the mat, or take your forehead down to the mat here. On your next inhale, walk your hands back towards the body. Close off the knees. Come up onto the knees. We're going to swing this left leg out so it's parallel with the back of the mat here. Send the right leg out to the side. Let's take a little side bend here. So inhale down. Take that arm up and over the ear. And feel a lovely little side stretch here. Lift up through the hips so that you get a little deeper, maybe even sending that right arm a little lower down towards the ground. Inhale, come on up. Now let's walk that foot slightly closer. We're going to take our arm back down to the ground, keeping it under the shoulder blade and keeping the knee underneath the hip. Now lift up through that right leg. Now you're really you'll feel an engagement in your abs as well as in your glute here. Start to bend that leg and see if you can lean backwards and grab the inside of the ankle here on the right side. For more stability, you can tuck the toes on the left. Start to arch. Start to send your chest out forwards in front of you. Bending through that leg, kicking it into the palm of the right hand, getting a little deeper into the back bend here. And release the leg. Before you bring the leg down, release the arm. Stretch the leg out to the side and let's take 3 pumps here. 3 and down. Walk to the center of the mat and we're going to swap sides, bending the right leg, sending it out a 90-degree angle to the front of the mat. Take the left leg out to the side, right arm down to the mat, stretch the arm up and over your ear here on the left side. Look up at the fingertips if you want to, or just look straight ahead and enjoy a side stretch here. Getting deep into the side body, into the armpit on the left side. And come on up. Bring that leg a little closer, this left leg. Take the right hand down to the mat. Keep it underneath the shoulder blade. Palm underneath the shoulder blade, knee underneath the hip. Inhale, lifting up through the left leg. Engage that glute, engage the core. Now start to bend the left leg, grab the inside of the heel and start to arch the spine. Tuck the toes on the right side if you need to, and start to lean back, open up through the heart, kicking that left foot into the left palm. Exhale, release the hand, take it to your side body if you need to. We're going to take 3 pumps of this leg here on the left side, lifting it up, and then release that foot. Come onto the center of the mat, and we're going to send our hips up and back into our downward facing dog. Walk out your dog, maybe take a couple of side bends, stretching through the side body once again, bending through the right leg, stretching out the left side. And then bending through the left, stretching out the right. Take a couple more of those. And then walk your feet a little to the center. We're going to come down onto our bums. Let's take a little reflection over our boat pose. Now I know that some of you maybe have taken the easier, more beginner option where you keep holding behind the knees. So what I want you to do is to play around with letting go of the knees today. See if you can, even if it's just with one hand. So start to lean back, sucking in the core, hands behind the knees. Lift off of the mat. If you need to stay here, keep the hands behind the knees. Maybe play around with letting go with one and letting go with the other. That's okay, just be there. If you can let go of both, then let go. If you want to go even further here, you can straighten through the legs, slightly lean a little more back, and just hold this for 3 breaths. So wherever you are, hands behind the knees or with the legs extended, 3 breaths. Keep the spine nice and long, shoulders away from the ears. And release. Hug the knees to the chest, keeping the feet off the floor if you can. Let's do that again, coming back into boat. This time we're going to take our little rowing boat. So if you can remember, thinking back to when we did a little bit of core like this, we're going to release the hands. On an inhale, we're going to come on back, straighten the legs and lean back. Exhale the knees to the chest. Let's do that 3 times. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, knees to chest. Inhale back. Exhale, knees to chest. 1 more. Inhale back. Exhale, knees to chest, hug the knees in. You can take the feet down to the ground. For those of you that didn't cope with that, that's okay. I hope you just sat out in your boat pose, felt the balance, and just felt out how your body is feeling today. Now let's do a little counter pose here. So I'm going to just move my mic out of the way. Come on back, roll really slowly down the spine all the way to the mat. Once you're there, keep the spine nice and flat against the ground. And I've got a couple of variations for you. So we're going to come into our plow pose. So inhale the legs to the sky. Now start to send the hips up and over. Placing the arms, keeping the shoulder blades together at the back of the spine so that you're supporting the neck with the shoulders. Keep the elbows close together as well. And you're welcome to keep your hands on the lower spine as you slowly take your legs over the head and allow them to touch the ground behind you. Just keeping the hands on the spine. If this is enough, then stay here. Try to straighten through the spine if you can. Tilting the pelvis back, sending the tailbone towards the sky. Or you can interlace the hands behind the back, keeping them on the ground for extra support. And then the other option is to send the arms behind you and allow the feet to be placed on top of the hands and stretch through the spine here. Wherever you are, let's take 3 deep breaths. If this pose is completely inaccessible, take a nice child's pose. And allow the neck to be completely still here. Don't look from side to side. 1 more deep breath. Wherever you are, release the feet. You can take the hands back behind the spine, lift the legs into the air, and ever so slowly bending the knees, allowing the spine to roll back down to the mat. Let's take a counter pose, sending the legs out in front of us, stretch them out. Start to lift up. Place the elbows underneath or a little further away from the shoulders so that your hands are placed just behind the buttock here. Start to arch through the, lift up through the back, sending the chest up towards the sky, and allow your head to fall backwards. Keep your shoulders away from the ears. Try to keep the shoulder blades pulling together at the back of the spine, lifting up through the chest, arching the back. Point the toes, close the eyes, and let's take 3 deep breaths here. To come out of this, very slowly start to straighten the back, keep the neck where it is, and at the last moment start to lift the head. Wonderful. Come on up. Let's take a couple of final stretches here. Let's open up through the hips and then close them off. Get my mic back on. Let's take the arches of the feet together and in our butterfly pose. We've done quite a lot of butterflies. It's such a beautiful way to open up through the hips. So remember, if your knees are lifted, that's okay. Just accept that. And sit up nice and tall, holding onto the feet just to allow yourself to stay nice and tall through the spine. This is okay, this is where you are. But everybody, let's start to flap the wings of the butterfly, just warming up through the hip flexors. And then when you're ready, we're going to start to lean forward only as far as it feels good for your body. You can move from side to side on the sit bones if you need to. And then let's start to come on forward. You can either come down to the forearms or just send the hands out in front of you. Be where you are, listen to the body. Take your reflection internal, and anything that doesn't feel right, start to ease out of it. Just go as low as your body is asking of you today. If you can, and you want to bring your hands together, interlacing the forearms, interlacing the fingers either side of the elbows, and just rest your head down. If this is as open as your hips are, then great, be here. So wherever you are, let's take 3 deep breaths. Now, if you're all the way down, slowly walk your hands back up. Use your hands, bring your knees together and squeeze them into the body. Now we're going to counter pose that. So like we've done a few times before, we're going to take our right foot towards the left side of the bum and the left leg over the top of the right. For some of you, this is more than enough. Just be here, hold on to this left knee and sit up nice and tall. For those of you that want to go all the way into our Gomukhasana legs, lean forward, bring the knees together and sit back between the feet. If your hips are feeling a little tighter today, that's all right. Your knees may be lifted a little more like mine is. As long as this is not too uncomfortable, then just stay here. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. Now take the left arm up and behind you. Using the right hand, let's give a stretch here on the tricep on the left side. Sit up nice and tall wherever you are. Close the eyes and let's take 3 deep breaths. Now let's release the arms, and if you're in full Gomukhasana, release that top leg nice and gently, bringing it up and over, squeeze it towards the body, and let's swap directions. Taking this left leg behind us, underneath the right, bringing the heel towards the right side, right leg over the left. You're more than welcome to just stay here. Or let's come into our Gomukhasana, lean forward, bring the knees together and sit back between the heels. Now let's stretch the tricep here on the right side, so bend through the arm, taking that left arm just to create extra pressure. Sit up nice and tall through the spine. Close your eyes and let's take 3 deep breaths. Now start to slowly release the arms and release the legs. Bend over towards the left side. Lift that right leg up nice and slowly and take it back over the left. Squeeze that knee in. And then let's take a nice comfortable seat, any seat of your choice. Any cross-legged seat of your choice. You're more than welcome to grab a cushion off of your couch and hike your hips up a little bit if that's easier. Now, if you really struggle with cross-legged positions, another thing you can do is just to hold on to the shins and try to sit up nice and tall through the spine. And it doesn't matter if your legs are a little lifted, as long as there's no pain or too much discomfort. I'm actually going to cross my legs in the opposite way because that's how I sat earlier. So if you sat cross-legged earlier, if you can remember which leg you had on top, make sure you have the opposite one on top this time. So let's sit up nice and tall. We're going to just take a moment here to come back into the body and to relax everything. So take your palms together, creating a little cradle. Place them in the center of the lap. Sit up nice and tall. Closing the eyes. Allow the shoulders to roll back and down, keeping the spine nice and long. Closing the eyes, let's take a moment here just to reflect on everything you've learnt. How does your body feel right now? After going over a few different things we've already tried in the last 28 days, back bends, balancing postures, a little bit of core, breath techniques. There's a lot to learn in yoga. That's why they call it a practice. And each little component has its own practice that you need to continue with. For me, that's why yoga's never boring, because there's always something to practice, always something to improve and work on, whether it be an asana or whether it be internally, working on the ego and working on quietening my mind. Allow your breath to return back to its natural rhythm here. Engage the core only a tiny, tiny bit. Just enough to keep the spine nice and long. And let's take 1 minute of complete silence and stillness. If any thoughts come into your mind, allow them to pass and pay them no attention. I'm going to allow you to just listen to the beautiful sounds here in Costa Rica, and I'll meet you at the end. For those of you ready to finish off your practice, together with me with the eyes closed, bring the hands to your heart center. Draw them together and let's give them a nice rub, warming up, heating through the palms. Take a deep inhale and place those palms over the eyelids. Behind the palms, start to flutter the eyes open, looking left and right, up and down. Now move the palms away from the eyes. Keep watch of the palms. Draw the hands to your heart center. Bow your head. Thank yourself for showing up today, day 29. How fantastic. I look forward to tomorrow, our final class in the series. Until then, have a beautiful day, have a beautiful evening, whatever it is you're doing. Namaste.